Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Chabergi, and joining me again tonight is Derek Relaford. How you doing tonight, Derek?
I'm alive, man. I got sick probably Sunday night.
Oh,
I
wow.
started feeling like I had a little bit of a sore throat, maybe, and just feeling cruddy. And I've been pretty stuffed up since. I haven't been to work all week. I've been working from home. I've been doing a bunch of stuff, but
Oh,
uh,
wow.
yeah, I have to go do some stuff tomorrow morning with my doctor. Just a few little test type things, and then I'll probably be heading back to the office when that's over around 11. But I'm hearing that we're all going to be stuck at home in some snow type conditions this weekend. It's looking like for
That's
most
what
of
I'm
us.
hearing over here, too. More snow, which we haven't had a good snow over here yet this year, so we'll
We had a
see.
good one a few weeks ago, like a week and a half ago. It was I didn't believe they said it was supposed to snow pretty good. I didn't believe it, and we definitely got pretty saturated about a week and a half ago. But yeah, it's looking like it's going to be pretty cold this weekend. So
Hmm.
probably a lot of sitting around for for
Oh,
Derek
wow.
Rell.
Friday
Esther
through.
Unruh and Christopher Unruh are in the house.
And you see, we're under, I don't know about you guys, but over here, we're under an extreme cold watch from Friday morning through Monday morning. Says portions of central, south central, and southeast Kansas.
Nice.
Dangerously cold wind chills as low as 20 below zero could cause frostbite to exposed skin in as little as 30 minutes. So it should be a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, we're on extreme cold watch here as well.
We've got a pretty decent chance of precipitation Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Well, not so much Thursday, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And I have to work all weekend, so it should be fun.
Any
Ma-
anything new in the true crime world since we spoke last?
I was trying to think what I'm trying to keep track on. I know I've been loosely following. I'm trying to get more information on it. A while back, we talked about that young girl Emily Pike that went missing down in Arizona, and she was found dismembered in trash bags. And there's another little girl down there in Arizona missing from the Navajo Nation. Uh, they found her dead within 24 hours of when she went missing. They haven't released the cause of death or anything yet.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, found her dead within 24 hours of going missing. So I'm trying to keep up on that little situation, see what they find out there. Oh, it's crazy. This is just a crazy world.
I was watching I watched a lot of YouTube, which 2 years ago I loved watching YouTube. I would just sit there and veg out and just watch all these creators and had a good time with it. But here lately, it just seems like I don't know. I'm not really into it. But I was watching a video last night, and it was basically covering Adam Walsh, and
Oh, okay.
like I don't think a lot of people, especially younger people, but I don't think they realize that like his abduction and death was is basically probably why you and I do this show. Like
Right.
his dad definitely took that and ran with it and probably saved a ton of lives, found a lot of fugitives, like
Yeah.
America's Most Wanted. And to be honest, like I think that there's a lot of speculation on what happened to Adam Walsh, but I don't think anything's like 100% factual. Anybody that knows, so it's kind of
Mm.
sad that this little boy, like he's the poster child, no pun intended, for a whole movement that's helped bring a lot of people home safe and
Mm.
stuff. But like, I don't think his case ever got solved,
Yeah.
but it was a long
Also,
time ago.
also responsible for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children website as well, and organization as well, because his dad started that as well. So
Yeah. Some people can take tragedy and, turn it around. And I
yeah,
promise you, his family and his father would probably give it all back for their kid back. But it's just kind of crazy. Like, That was a long time ago, and
Yeah,
it
it
wasn't.
was.
Walsh was the first kid that was abducted and killed. Like, that was just like the first time that like the America's like addiction to news and bad news especially was like in full
Mhm.
front. Like, he was the first time that I think Americans were like, "Oh crap, that's a problem. That we have kids that are missing." And when you call the police station and say, "I haven't seen my kid all day," he's 5, and the police are just like, "They got to be missing 24 hours." Like, that stopped a lot of that. Where it's just like, now if somebody's missing, most most precincts start looking. Like, it don't matter what
Right.
time it was. So they just start looking for him. So
Yeah. It's like Eton Patz. He was a missing kid in New York. His abduction, I don't know that he's ever been found, I don't think. But his abduction led to being the first missing kid put on a milk carton back
wow,
in 1979.
yeah,
So, yeah. And then the guy that runs Texas Equisearch, he started that after his daughter was found murdered as well. And I cannot remember his name or her name right now.
Well, we'll get into some cases real quickly. I want to let everybody know that if obviously you're watching on either Facebook or Ricky's personal page, and he also has a YouTube page for Kansas Missing and Unsolved, you can now watch this episode, and we're going to start building the back catalog up as far as old episodes. But Kansas Missing and Unsolved is now available on Spotify via video, so you can just search for Kansas Missing and Unsolved, subscribe, follow along, and you can watch this show on Spotify. And it does that cool thing where if you leave the page on your smartphone to go do something else, it just keeps playing in the background.
No,
But we're going
that's
to get
cool.
into some cases. If this is your first time tuning in, you're watching Kansas Missing and Unsolved, where we try to find the people that are missing and try to shed some light on some unsolved crimes, homicides typically, that could use some things. Beverly Logan is our first case. Ricky's going to tell you all
Yeah.
about her.
And real quick, Tim Miller was the guy that founded Texas Equisearch
Okay.
in memory of his daughter Laura, who was abducted and murdered in North Galveston County, Texas in 1984.
Justice for Cynthia Renee Gonzalez. Hey guys, what's up?
Yeah. And this one, Beverly Logan, actually today marks 18 years since she was murdered here in Salina, Kansas. January 21st, 2008, Salina Police Department responded to 1200 East Iron to check the welfare of the only occupant of the residence, Beverly Logan. Officers found the front door ajar and Ms. Logan deceased in the kitchen. It was apparent to the investigating officers she was the victim of a brutal attack. The homicide occurred around noon on Monday next door to a heavily patronized convenience store, which I'm trying to remember if it was Green Lantern at that time or it had switched to Casey's by then. I think it was still Green Lantern at that time. On East Iron Avenue, obviously it was a busy street. There was two apartment complexes, catty corner across from her house. Of course, the convenience store right there with the car wash. A couple other small businesses along in there, houses along in there. So it's not a low traffic area by any stretch. Beverly's murder has been extensively investigated by the Salina, Kansas Police Department, and the investigation, to my understanding, is still ongoing. There have been no viable suspects developed. I mean, I remember early on, they developed a sketch of somebody that they considered a person of interest, released it, had it in the papers and everything. And then not long after, they yanked it and retracted that person was no longer a person of interest. I don't know why they did the retraction or anything, but they did. So I guess he wasn't a person of interest after all. But if you have any information regarding Beverly's death, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or call Crime Stoppers at 785-825-8477 or text tips to crimes 274-637. Or you can go to www.pd.salina.org and follow the Crime Stoppers link to submit a tip that way. You may receive a cash reward of up to $1,000 and you're not required to give your name. There's also a reward of $11,000 being offered for information leading to an arrest and conviction in Beverly's murder. And you see a little playing card down there from the cold case deck that the Department of Corrections put out. And it says on there that she was found stabbed to death inside of her home. So in the kitchen area, she was stabbed to death. So,
Jeez.
and I know initially there was talk that she had these highly collectible dolls, and they thought maybe It was a robbery gone bad or a burglary gone bad, but then they found out that that she gave the dolls away prior to her murder, so that ended up not being uh, a viable thing. So they don't actually know why she was murdered. So, but if anybody has any information at all on it, please call it in and let them know and see if it's something that they need to help get the investigation moving on, so they can get somebody held accountable for that. And somebody needs to be held accountable big time.
So I just put that. Probably means nothing, but Beverly Logan, and again, like that. It seems like it doesn't seem like these things ever were like a huge, uh, like red flag in the investigation. But they say Beverly Logan had some expensive dolls, rare dolls, whatever. Then you
Mm-hmm.
have Lori Heimer, who has expensive dogs, and then you have the woman who had the all the cash and bonds and coins and
Yeah,
I just kind of realized that I could name you at least 3 unsolved homicides in the Salina area where again I don't think that these items or belongings really had anything to do with the homicides because it doesn't seem like those were taken. But 3 unsolved homicide victims, all 3 had like what you would consider like something rare. You know, that's just kind of interesting, I think.
yeah.
But
And another
again,
thing
none
about
of them like that. None of those things were really a part of any crime scene. Like, oh, and they took her expensive dolls or her expensive coins or her expensive dogs. It's just
yeah,
interesting that 3 people that were killed, like, were kind of collectors of odd items. Odd in the sense that not everybody has any of those things. You know.
yeah. Another thing about Beverly is she had a really pretty parrot and everything. Maybe the parrot might have been something as well, but they ended up thinking that was not the case too. So I don't know. It's hard
A
to say.
parrot.
Yeah, parrot.
Oh,
I've seen
okay.
one picture and I have not been able to actually locate it anymore, but it was a parrot, picture of her kissing the parrot on the beak. And
And
I've
that's
never
Beverly
been able to
Logan.
find it again.
Really, and that's the Beverly Logan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I was just seeing a comment down there asking if there was any updates on Madalena Kojikari's case, and nothing new that I'm finding. I'm just kind of scrolling Google a little bit here to see if there's anything new. Last article came out about a month ago. It's 3 years since Madalena Kojikari was first reported missing, and that's just basically an anniversary piece, but nothing new except for mom fled the country. Stepdad, not sure where he's at, but mom did flee the country. We do know that. So nothing. That's all I can get you on that one for right now. But let's see. I'll do some more digging and see what I can find out. And if I can find anything else, I'll update her flyer and post it and stuff. So that's what we'll have to do here. And this is Lori Heimer. She was stabbed in her rural area, Kansas home on June 25th, 2016. She ran her business, Lori's Poodle Patch, from her home. Lori was a licensed breeder of miniature-sized poodles and was licensed throughout the state of Kansas. Kansas Bureau of Investigation was contacted to assist Saline County Sheriffs in the investigation. They responded with agents and their crime scene response team. During the investigation, 2 vehicles of interest were developed. Vehicle 1 was said to be an older flatbed pickup truck, possibly a Chevrolet, which is described as beat up, maroon in color, with a white front bumper, silver grille, and wide style mirrors. Driver was described as a man who was 50 years of age or older, with salt and pepper hair. Vehicle 2 was an older style small pickup truck, possibly a Chevrolet S10 with a 2-tone paint job, dark blue on the top and the bottom with light blue down the middle, a silverback bumper, and a newer blue tailgate that appeared to have minimal damage when compared to the body of the truck. The remainder of the vehicle is described as beat up and scratched up. There may have been 2 animal cages or crates in the back. The driver of this second vehicle was described as a white male, approximately 40 years of age, with shoulder-length hair and wearing glasses. Investigators said they would like to locate these 2 vehicles. They would also like to speak to anyone that had any contact or business appointment with Lori at any time between June 20th and 25th, 2016. If you have any information regarding the homicide of Lori J. Heimer, please call the Saline County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 785-826-6500 or the KBI at 1-800-572-7463. There is a reward of $37,500 being offered for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for Lori's murder. So if you have any information, no matter how small or minute you think it might be, please get it called in and see if it's something that they need to get them going, so we can see if we can't get some justice for Lori and her family. And Heather's saying their first plea hearing on Cynthia Renee Gonzalez's case is March 4th. She's been keeping me updated on Cynthia's case, sending me links to various news reports and stuff, Inside Edition, and
She's tagged me in a few things on Facebook that were pretty that were related. It's I don't know, it's weird because like you do this show and like we never met Cynthia, but like she was Cynthia's friend, but like we've gotten to know Cynthia by you made her flyer, you've covered her case, we've shared her flyer so many times, and then like you finally get like news that like, hey, they made an arrest, it's like, and then you want to celebrate, but then you're just like, oh wait, like she's still gone, it's like that's it's weird. It's like your victories in this world, even your victories kind of suck. You're just like, yes, like my friend's gone, or like Cynthia's not coming home for sure. I'm glad it's awesome, like because I was telling you the last like few months, like I don't know if it has anything to do with AI helping, but it seems like a lot of cold cases are starting to get solved, and it's really awesome, man. It's like, wow, they solved that, they figured that out. That's crazy.
Yeah, I like the Inside Edition piece the best out of the ones that she's tagged me in and stuff so far. So that one's probably the best one. Little tidbit that she told me about Cynthia that I didn't know was apparently Cynthia was friends with Stevie Nicks.
Oh wow, we were watching a lot of. Me and Stephanie have been listening to a lot of Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, so apparently Cynthia was friends with Stevie Nicks, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's rad.
And she's saying there's really no zero victory in this. It's emotionally draining. I can imagine it is. I couldn't imagine, being good friends with somebody that was murdered and the case had been unsolved for so many years, and finally somebody gets charged. I just couldn't imagine the feelings. It just And she was also friends with Pantera as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And let's see. This is Haley Davis, one we've been covering quite some time. Very troubling case. She's missing from here in Salina, Kansas since July 21st, 2023. 19 when she was missing. She's now 21. 5'6" to 5'7", weighs between 190 and 200 pounds. Her hair was last known to be dyed bleach blonde, and she has blue eyes. She left Salina, Kansas with a male acquaintance to go to Wichita. Yet he was less active on her social media and last heard from on July 21st, 2023. Wichita police say the investigation has led them to believe that Haley may be deceased. And when she went missing, she was 19. She's now 21. 5'6" to 5'7" tall, weighs between 190 and 200 pounds. Her hair was last known to be dyed bleach blonde, and she has blue eyes. And it looks like she does wear glasses from time to time. If you have any information regarding Haley's disappearance, her whereabouts or the location of her remains, please call Detective Owen at 316-268-4185, or you can email her at aowen@wichita.gov. To remain anonymous, you can call Crime Stoppers at 316-267-2111, or the KBI at 785-296-4017, or 1-800-572-7463, or you can scan that little Crime Stoppers QR code in the Crime Stoppers banner down there, and that will take you to a form on their website, and you can fill out your information there and see what we can do to help get Haley located and back to her family. I'll be interested to see if her family, if they have another vigil this year like they did last year, and have to see what happens. See, I don't, and I see Heather's asking, didn't the family try to get her declared deceased? I don't know. I haven't heard on that, whether they have or not. I'll have to talk to her brother and see if he can answer that question for me.
At what point did they start using wording like "we fear she may be deceased" and stuff? Like
when Wichita took over the case from Salina.
So basically, like April of 25, basically, just kind of they.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what makes them say something
hey,
like
Queenie,
that.
How you doing? I don't know. Like I said, that was the wording that I used there was from a post the Wichita Police Department put on their Facebook. saying that they believe that she is deceased. And then the part down in
Yeah.
with the information for contact where it says where the location of her remains, that was also put in the Wichita Police Department post. So
Yeah,
I got
it's
it straight from them.
KSN and KSAL said the exact same quote. I'm just curious. I'm just wondering, like, what they know, and that they've there's a lot of cases, and again, it's like wording and stuff,
Yeah.
like that's a pretty cut and dry way for them to be like, we don't think she's coming back alive, like we think this is a bad situation, like something happened to her and somebody's preventing that information from getting out. But yeah, that's crazy, man. Can't be good. Whatever Wichita Police Department figured out, and it can't be good news. If they're using wording like that, it's really sad.
I don't know. I can hope and pray that she's out there safe somewhere. It's just a matter of finding out for sure. But if Wichita Police Department feels that she may not be, then they know something. So that's all I can say there is they have something to make them believe that. I don't know what it is. And let's see. Now we're talking about Sarah Marie Hart, and I guess she sometimes uses the last name Pettit. She went missing from Wichita, Kansas on September 26, 2020. 36 when she went missing. She's now 41, 5'6", inches tall, weighs between 130 and 140 pounds, brown hair, green or hazel eyes. Sarah boarded a bus in Denver in July 2020, traveled to live with her boyfriend in Wichita. She made it to town and was last seen near 48th Street North and Ridge Road around September 26, 2020. Family members spoke with Sarah over the phone on October 4th, 2020. Supposedly, she was heading back to Denver, but nobody has seen or heard from her since then. And she was 36 when she went missing. She's now 41, 5'6" tall, weighs between 130 and 140 pounds. She has short brown hair and green or hazel eyes, and she may be wearing eyeglasses. She has a tattoo on the right side of her neck that says Brooklyn, and a 420 tattoo on her left hand, which we all know what that means. If you have any information regarding Sarah's disappearance, her whereabouts, please call the Sedgwick County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 316-660-3900 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And there is a $30,000 reward available for information that leads to Sarah's safe return. I was recently asked to update that to that amount by a family member that says they have that amount built up for that reward.
Wow.
So, and there again, you can also call Crime Stoppers down there at 316-267-211, or you can use the Crime Stoppers QR and go to that form on the website and fill out your information there as well. And so we can do to get Sarah located and back to where she needs to be. And I'm just reading the comments here again. Heather's saying you guys need to have someone make up portable boards that you should take to local convenience stores just for missing persons flyers. I had actually at one point was talking to somebody at one of the truck stops that we were actually talking about doing something like that, set up some kind of a TV and feed flyers to it. And it just got to be where we're trying to figure out how to update it in real time, to be able to get it, get to it and take down the flyers that were found, put up new ones, located, try to do that all real time. And ultimately, it'd be nice to be able to do it remotely, but we couldn't figure out how to do that. So we've kind of shelved the idea until we could kind of figure that out. But I was actually talking to somebody about doing something like that at one point, which would be awesome.
I thought gas pumps too, like if the ones that are sitting there and play those dumb videos, if they could just flash your flyers, just like places like that where people are going to be parked for 2 minutes while they fill their car up, like it shows some. And again, like the technology is there, like they could make it to where you could show Ricky makes so many flyers for the the whole state, like they could show flyers, like if somebody's missing in Wichita, they could show flyers at Wichita gas stations and stuff. Like the technology there, it's just getting someone to do it.
She's saying have representatives volunteer to do that for you. Yeah, that would be cool. And have people volunteer to in there, and I've actually encouraged people in the past, to do that. To, if there's somebody missing in your area and you see the flyers on the page, feel free to print them up and get them to to wherever, gas stations, malls, grocery stores, wherever there's high traffic. Just don't approach Walmart because Walmart's pretty stickler. They're only missing persons flyers they will put up our National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I tried to have them do one for an adult male here in town. Was missing from here in town one time, and initially they outright refused, and they said, "Oh, we'll find somewhere to put it," and I never did ever see it up. So I don't
Was
know.
that Kenny?
Do what?
Was it
No,
Kenny?
no. What was his name? Oh, he ended up getting out to California. I can't think of his name.
Oh,
But
that
he,
guy that they found and that he was alive?
no, I'm
Uh,
trying to think. Corey Spangler was his name. He was missing from here in town, and he's diagnosed schizophrenic. And the deal behind it was that he had voices in his head like schizophrenics do, and he was listening to the voices in his head, and they had him convinced that 50 Cent stole a song of his. And he had to get to California to collect the money from 50 Cent that 50 Cent owed him for that song. And so the day he went missing, his mom had actually got up to go to the restroom. While she was in the restroom, he walked out the door and hopped the bus and went to California. So, and then last I had heard, his dad lived in Hawaii, and he managed to get over there. And as last I knew was, I think, with his dad in Hawaii, and that's been several years ago. So I haven't heard any more about him since. So, hey, Ellen, how are you doing? And she said she'd volunteered to do that for us. Even bus stops would be good to do too. Maybe even airports. I don't know.
yeah.
Just anywhere there's high traffic.
Yeah.
That would let you do it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, Walmart can be sticklers about it because they're basically contracted with National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Which I stop and look at their board in their store when I'm in there here in town. When I'm in there, I'll go look at their board and see what they have. And say, "Oh, got a flyer for that one. I got a flyer for that one."
It's great that they have that. That's been like kind of a staple for Walmart for as long as I can remember. They've always typically had like that going on, like the missing posters up there, which is just great because Walmart's like there's a lot of people that think it's a bad thing of how popular Walmart is a place for people to go to, so there's a lot of people there, a lot of eyes. Put the one thing, so we go to my family shops at Walmart. That's right up our alley. There's been multiple times in multiple different cities where we'll be shopping, and usually when me and my family go shopping at Walmart, Stephanie kind of ends up wandering off, and like looking at stuff that she likes. And it's usually me and the boys kind of walking around. But I'll notice like there'll be usually younger males, probably late 20s, and I keep bumping into them all over the store. And they never have a cart, and they never have any items in their hand. And every time they walk past me, just like you would walk past a stranger, they look at my kids. And like I'm talking about the 15th time that they pass me by. We're in there. So like I've been normally I would never think twice about it, but just doing this show with you for 6 years, we were in, I forget where, I'm not gonna name drop it. It was one of the cities near Hugoton, within like 2 hours. There was this guy, and it was like probably the 15th time. He just walked slowly right past me and my kids and looked at us. And he didn't have a cart. He didn't have any belongings in his hands. And then just so loud, really loudly, I was just like, yeah, it seems like some people are just people shopping in here. You know what I mean? I was like, they better really kind of watch what they're doing, because people are noticing that, people are just walking around with no belongings in their hands where multiple times around, like just basically letting this young guy know, like, hey, I am that kind of Papa Bear that if you try any weird stuff with my kids, we're both going to be on the news tonight, buddy. Like I'm gonna beat the crap out. So like that is. And it happens a lot. I see these people walking around Walmart with no shopping cart, no groceries, and they're just doing laps. So they're either like undercover loss prevention people, or I think that they're like a lot of people that are weirdos and they want to like maybe snatch a kid that's not paying it. I don't know, dude. Like it's weird. It's weird to bump into somebody at Walmart over 10, 15 times and they never have a single item on them. They just happen to be in the same. Never happens when I'm by myself. It's always when I'm with my two sons, my young sons. Weird people, man.
No, I know. Come on. I'm trying to do something on my phone here and it's driving me nuts. Anyway, we'll talk about Zachary Anderson here. He's missing from Topeka, Kansas since January 18, 2017. So anniversary of his disappearance 9 years ago was back on the 18th of this month. 27 when he went missing. He's now 36, 5'9" to 6 foot tall. Weighs 170 to 175 pounds. Brown hair, blue or hazel eyes. He did live in Wichita at the time he went missing, but he was last seen in Topeka on January 10th, 2017. He was brought there after he was denied entry at the Prairie Band Casino in Mayetta, Kansas. He was supposedly dropped off at the Ramada Inn on the 400 block of Southeast 6th Street, but never checked in and has never been heard from again. His cell phone is no longer active, and his Facebook password has been changed. Again, he's now 36 years old, between 5'9" and 6 foot tall, has brown hair, blue hazel eyes, excuse me. Has a tattoo that says Savannah on the right side of his neck, a tattoo of the initials ZMA on his left arm, a tattoo of ALA on his right inside forearm, tattoo of Take Money on the inside of his wrist, I'm not sure which wrist that is, tattoo of Tia on the inside of his wrist, unknown which wrist, has a tattoo of $2 on the back of his right hand, tattoo of a Bam Margera heartogram on his lower abdomen, not sure what that is, tattoo of a cross on the side of his rib cage, unknown which side, a prior tattoo of Savannah on his chest that had been covered up with a skull-like image and a black ship that's not completed. He was last known to be wearing a black jacket over a blue jacket, red and black sweatpants, red and black Reebok sneakers, earrings, a necklace, and a beige bracelet with multicolored beads on his right wrist. If you have any information regarding Zachary's disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-268-4111 or the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see what we can do to get Zach located and back to where he needs to be. Because he definitely needs to be found.
What did she say?
Let's see.
Creep, yeah. They follow women around. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's weird people out there.
Yeah.
I'm not into it.
Did you find a picture of that tattoo?
A tattoo? Which one?
That Bam Margera heartogram.
Oh! I'll look. I used to have it on here. Let me look for it real quick.
Yeah, because we've covered him before.
I got you. Give me a second. It'll be just a second. I don't know why I deleted it from the images that we had.
Yeah.
Here we go. I think I got it here. I'll drop it in right now. Here we go. Heartogram right there.
Okay, darn it. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. I remember you showing that to me before. I just couldn't remember what it was.
It's a really cool design. Okay. Like I remember it was popular in the early 2000s.
We say that one.
Yeah, the heartogram. I remember like in the early 2000s. It's a
cool, that one on
his
lower abdomen.
But yeah.
Yep, has that one on his lower abdomen. So if anybody has any information on him at all, please don't hesitate to get that in. Definitely get that in.
Orange City area case.
Okay. Real quick before we cover Rachel, I want to interrupt for just a second with this. I had to do that again. I had a gal get a hold of me last night and asked me if I would mention her search and rescue on the page, and I put a post up last night. And basically, they're a new organization that's just getting up off the ground, and they're strictly going to be doing Kansas only cases. So if you have a case in Kansas you want them to look into, they have a Facebook group. I have it on Kansas Missing and Unsolved page. Also looking for volunteers. So if you're interested in maybe volunteering to help them, again, the groups, there's a post with the group link on Kansas Missing and Unsolved. So reach out to them and let them know you're interested in helping in some form, and I'm sure they'll be able to hook you up. And see, we're getting ready to cover Rachel Pratt, which we've talked about her before. But here again is another January case, January 16th, 1995. So we're looking, what, 31 years. Am I thinking that's right? Yeah, 31 years. So it's been a while. Rachel Geraldine Pratt, she went missing from Garden City, Kansas, January 16th, 1995. 15 when she went missing. She's now 45, 5'7" tall, 125 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. She was last seen watching a movie inside her family's residence in Garden City, Kansas at approximately 1 a.m. on January 16th, 1995. She disappeared under suspicious circumstances and has never been heard from again. Rachel left all of her clothing and personal belongings at her home except for her coat. 5 days after her disappearance, some girls claimed to have seen her talking on a payphone with her 18-year-old boyfriend. They said she left the phone with her boyfriend after asking the girls for a ride and went into Dillon's grocery store. The sighting has not been confirmed, and her boyfriend denies having been with her after she vanished. Rachel was supposed to be a witness against her boyfriend, who was being prosecuted for unlawful sexual relations with her. Because Rachel disappeared before she could testify, the charges were dropped. They started dating when Rachel was 14 and a freshman. Her boyfriend was a senior. He was her first boyfriend. Rachel's mother found out she was pregnant after Rachel was arrested for attempting to shoplift a home pregnancy test from Walmart. She gave her statement to the police at that time. There's no evidence to indicate that Rachel has given birth. There's also no record of her ever receiving a driver's license, a copy of her birth certificate, or social security card. She may have remained in the Garden City area after her disappearance. There have been no sightings of her in many years, but authorities remain hopeful that she's still alive. Rachel has 7 siblings. Her mother still lives at the same address and has kept the same phone number. If you have any information regarding Rachel's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Garden City Police Department at 620-276-1300, or you can call Crime Stoppers anonymously at 620-275-7807, or text your tip to the Garden City Police. Text GC TIP and your tip to tip 411 or 847-411, or you can call the KBI at 785-296-4017. And let's see what we can do to help get Rachel Geraldine Pratt located and back to where she needs to be. So it's been 41 years.
Long time.
And that in the comments, that Will X Sabrina Larson says, my page is now active. You're more than welcome to share on my page. And I agree with any update. Is there any update with this gentleman? And the update they're asking about is, his last name is Zubler. I can't remember his first name all of a sudden. But I haven't heard any updates. I need to dig in and see if there's any updates. I haven't heard a word. He's still listed as missing on KBI. I do know that. But as far as any updates on the case, I haven't had anybody reach out to me in a while and say they've gotten video of him there or here or where, anything like that. So hopefully I can get an update on his case too. And I need to get him back on the page too. And Helen said she's been good, been busy packing the house. I'll be doing the same thing here not too awful long from now because I have to move because the complex I've been living in for the last 14 years got sold and the new owners want everybody out by May 10th. So my goal is to try to start moving probably in a couple of weeks as soon as I can get a place found. So that's my goal. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. They're saying we have a community bulletin board, but it's not visible when you first walk in the store. It's located in between our storage and cooler area. It needs to be moved. Well, get on it and move it. No, just kidding. And something you said, she said, freaky creepies there. Helen says they follow women around also. And they do. And Ellen's here from Leavenworth. Hey, Ellen. And this one I just updated today. Megan Fogelsong. Let's see. She, went missing from Alden, Kansas on November 25th, 2015. She was 21 when she went missing. She's now 32. She just had her 32nd birthday yesterday. 5'4", 150 pounds, sandy blonde hair, green eyes. Her last activity on Facebook was November 30th, 2015, and there was an unconfirmed sighting around Thanksgiving 2015 at Guy's Liquor Store in Larned, Kansas. When she's been missing, she was 21. She's now 32. She's 5'4", weighs around 150 pounds. Her weight does fluctuate. She has sandy blonde hair that she does dye occasionally, and she has green eyes. She does wear glasses, but she also has contact lenses. She has a tattoo on her left hip of a flower design, pictured far right over there at the top right. And she has on her left wrist a heart design that says thick thin. It's a heart with the infinity through it. And she has a tattoo on her upper right chest, both pictured above second from the right. And it's like another infinity type tattoo up there on her chest. She's wearing an infinity necklace on her in that one photo as well. And she has a tattoo on her outer left calf of a dream catcher, which I've never been able to get a hold of a picture of that yet. If you have any information regarding Megan's disappearance, or you know her whereabouts, you can call the Rice County, Kansas Sheriff's Department at 620-257-7876 or 620-257-2363 or KBI at 785-296-4017. We also know she was seeing a man named David Madden, who by all accounts was not the best guy. Matter of fact, at one point, toward the end of the whole mess, he had went to his dad's house, shot and killed his dad. Sheriff's Department chased him, tried to get him. Well, this is where it gets confusing because originally what I had seen was they chased him. They got him off the road, approached the car, shot himself. And another account I read said he was actually shot himself inside the home. So I'm not sure which is accurate now. I'm gonna have to see if I can find out. But either way, he shot it and killed his dad, and then he killed himself. So if he knew anything about Megan's disappearance, he took it to the grave. So unless by some strange twist he may have confided in somebody that he didn't, and they're just not either afraid or not willing to talk, but I don't know. But hopefully somebody out there can shed some light on it. I know what was it? Ashley? It's so long since I've said her name, I can't remember. She co-hosted the show for a while.
Ashley Duft?
Yeah, that's it. She was out there searching for Megan high and low. She's got a page devoted to searching for Megan. And I haven't heard any updates or anything from her in a long time on Megan's case. She felt like she was starting to get close last I talked to her, and that's been a long time ago. So hopefully she is getting close and can, get something found out there. I mean, there's a lot of area to search out there where Megan was last seen. A lot of wells, a lot of places. So hopefully we get close.
I started a new Facebook because my old one got messed up, and I kind of lost touch with Ashley. But she is definitely who I would, if I had any questions about what's going on with that case, she would be who I would reach out to. She's the expert I know. She definitely knows a lot about Megan's case. A lot of other cases too. She does a lot of boots on the ground searching, but she knows a lot about Megan's case for sure.
Yeah. And this is when I decided to pull out today because I was looking at my news feed when I was on Kansas Missing and Unsolved, and I saw where the Kansas Department of Corrections, that came up with the cold case playing card deck, which you can see the card on her case down in the lower right corner there. They're still on their Facebook, sharing KMU's flyer with the playing card on their Facebook. And they're just continually doing different cards every day. And I just happened to see they did Cassandra's today, so I thought I would go ahead and cover her today. But this is Cassandra L. Jones. It's an unsolved homicide. December 16th, 98, March 31st, 99. She was last seen alive at home on December 13th, 1998. On December 16th, 1998, her vehicle, a green Pontiac Grand Am, was found at 1013 North Estelle. On March 31st, 1999, the next year, her body was located in a field at 8200 East 77th Street, North in Sedgwick County. Let's see what it says down there on the card. Pretty much the same thing. If you have any information regarding Cassandra's death, please call the Sedgwick County, Kansas Sheriff's Office 316-263-6011. Or you can call Crime Stoppers at 316-267-2111 or KBI 1-800-572-7463. And there again, there's the QR code you can scan, take you to the form on the Crime Stoppers page, and you can submit the tip that way. So if you have any information on her case at all, I encourage you to get it in there and let investigators check into it to see if that's something they need to help move the case forward. Hopefully we can get something generated. That's my hope with all these flyers, is that, whether they're recent cases or older cases, that we're doing some good and getting some information generated somehow.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And this is another one I pulled out today and wanted to touch on because on January 25th, this coming weekend, is, what did I say on her? Let's see, 40-year anniversary of Robin Ann Green's murder. She was formerly known as Jane Doe Miss Molly. Rachel's partially clothed body was found in a creek 11 miles west of Salina, Kansas on January 25th, 1986. She had been beaten and thrown over a guardrail into Mulberry Creek below an Interstate 70 bridge, where she drowned. She did not die from the beating. It was just she died from drowning in the creek down below. She was clothed only in undergarments that had labels that were believed to be either from Los Angeles or New York or possibly from overseas. Robin's identity was discovered after a familial DNA match and dental records match. Robin had laid in a Jane Doe grave for just over 34 years at the time of her identity was discovered. Again, she was known as Miss Molly by detectives who were investigating her case. At the time of her death, she was 28 years old. She resided in Los Angeles, California, was the mother of 4. Prior to her death, she'd visited family in Minnesota. And apparently she was on her way back to California from Minnesota when she was killed. But if you have any information regarding Robin Ann Green's death, please call the Saline County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 785-826-6500 or email Detective Mike Smith at mike.smith@saline.org or call FBI VICAP at 1-800-634-4097, or you can email vicap@leo.gov and see what we can do to help, get some justice for Robin and her family. One working theory is, I believe it was her ex-husband, they think might have done it, but he's now deceased as well. So it's going to be really hard to crack this case, but I'm sure somebody can provide something that will help push it in the right direction. And there are pictures that I put up in here that, like, here is the overpass, and I got that red circle there showing where her body was found in that creek down there. And then this was the Jane Doe marker that sat on her grave for 34 years. Snapped a picture of it, and that's the picture I snapped. And after she was identified, her family placed this headstone on the grave. They left her here in Salina. The inscription on the headstone says, "Words cannot express sincere appreciation for the kind people of Salina and the community who cared for and loved our Miss Molly." They decided to go ahead and leave her here in Salina since that's where she's been for 34 years and basically became her home in death. So they didn't want to disturb that. So they left her here and still resides in the cemetery down the street from me. So.
Wow. You went through all your pictures?
Yep. Went through them all. I only had 3, I think. 1, 2, 3. I'm just glad they finally ID'd her. That was, 1986. And I was actually there when they did the announcement of who she was at the sheriff's department. I got a hold of the sheriff because I've known him since middle school and asked him if he minded if I was there because it was just a press only thing because it was during COVID in 2020. And he said, I knew you'd want to be there. So, yeah. So Let's see, what did Heather has? Oh, Will ex Sabrina Larson. There was an I-70 killer trucker around that time that they caught, but he had traveled that back and forth and ended up getting busted for like 5 deaths. Yeah, it might be. And so the working theory so far is maybe the ex-husband, but like I said, he's deceased now as well. So, but anything's possible. And this is one that I just did today. Of course, we've covered her in the past, but she's missing again. This is Khadijah Beaver, missing from Coffeyville, Kansas, January 20th of 2026. This is yesterday. She's 18, 5'9", 170 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. I just noticed today on the picture on the top right, she's got a little tattoo on the right side of her neck. It looks like a, I don't know if it's Japanese or what that is on there, but right there on the right side of her neck. If you have any information regarding Khadijah's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Coffeyville, Kansas Police Department at 620-252-6160 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And see if we can get her located and back to where she needs to be. The two top photos are new ones that I just got today, as a matter of fact. The three at the bottom are ones that I'd used prior, and I just shifted them down to the bottom to kind of remind everybody it's the same person, just new pictures.
Yeah.
And we've covered this one quite a few times, and she had actually been staying put for quite some time. And missing again, Kmu Carrico, missing from here in town, Salina, Kansas, since January 17th, 2026, so 4 days ago. She's 14, 5'3", 140 pounds, blonde hair that was last known to be dyed dark, and it's cut short, and she has hazel eyes. I'm not sure how short, but short. If you have any information regarding Kaomi's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or the KBI is 785-296-4017. And see what we can do to get Kaomi located and back to where she needs to be. I just got somebody commented the middle photo last night and said it was a more recent, showing her current hair color where she's dyed it dark. And I thought, hey, cool. That's what I need.
Right.
You know, more recent picture. She's dyed her hair. That's great. You know, that now we know what she dyed her hair color too. But her mom said she did cut her hair short. So, and I've made this known in the past with Kaomi before. But this one's kind of personal to me because her mom was a foster daughter of mine quite a few years ago when she was a teenager. So I know her mom or her dad I worked with, and he used to work at Menards where I work at, and we were coworkers for quite a while, and he's since moved on, but I'm still at Menards, but he moved on to another job, but still keep in contact with both of them, so I want to get her found and back to where she needs to be.
Yeah.
And this one's one that I did today. He went missing a few days ago and was found, and here we go again, missing again. This one's Nicholas Gatto. I hope I'm saying that right. Missing from Wichita, Kansas since January 20th, 2026. So since yesterday. He's 16, 5'4", 120 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Last seen in the area of 37th Street North and Rock Road in Wichita. And he's 16, 5'4", 120 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Nicholas's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can get Nicholas located and back to where he needs to be. I can't remember if that was the last teenager or not. Yes, it was.
That was that you have loaded, unless you missed this one.
No, I don't think I did. And now we're going into out of state. And this one's one that I just updated photos on today. And this is Miranda Robertson, missing from Mount Vernon, Missouri since January 18th, 2026. She's 16, 5'7" tall, 170 pounds, brown hair with purple tint and green eyes. It's believed that she may be in the Monet, I don't know if it's Monet or Monette, Missouri area. Again, she's 16, 5'7", 170 pounds, dark brown hair with purple tint and green eyes. Last seen wearing a black hoodie and black and white checkered pajama pants. If you have any information regarding Miranda's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call 911 immediately We'll call the Lawrence County, Missouri Sheriff's Department at 417-466-2131. See what we can do to get Miranda located and back to where she needs to be. Looks like she's got a tattoo under her chin there, too. I can't tell what it is, but looks like she's got a tattoo under her chin.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. And Destiny MacArthur, this is one that she bounces back and forth between missing from Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas City, Missouri. Destiny MacArthur, missing from Kansas City, Missouri since January 13th, 2026, so just over a week. 17 years old, 5'8" to 5'11", 190 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Don't have much more than that. If you have any information regarding Destiny's disappearance, you know of her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department at 816-234-5043 or 816-234-5111, or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or 866-362-6422, and see if we can't get Destiny located and back to where she needs to be. This is Dana Bruce, one we cover every week. Missing from Sedalia, Missouri since October 4th, 2008. 23 when she went missing. She's now 40, 5'2", 98 pounds, brown hair, green or hazel eyes. She was last seen at her children's babysitter's home in Sedalia, Missouri. She left the children there earlier that day so she could go out for the evening. She returned at midnight, gave the babysitter more money, and asked her to watch the children for the rest of the night. Dana was seen at Malone's Bar on Main Street with the young man driving a late model red Ford F-150 truck earlier on the night of her disappearance. She left with that man at 11:30, and as it turns out, it was actually a green truck, not red, we found out. Police have identified the man Dana was with on the night she vanished. He traveled to Atlanta, Georgia after her disappearance. Police questioned him about Dana's disappearance after he was arrested on unrelated charges of marijuana possession and driving on a suspended license. Authorities have not named him publicly, but they are calling him a person of interest in her case. He told his questioners that he and Dana parted ways after they left the bar, and he never saw her again after that. She left all of her belongings behind, including her hairbrush and toothbrush. She does not have credit cards, debit cards, checking account, cell phone, or a car. And she was 23 when she went missing. She would now be 40. 5'2", weighs 98 pounds. She has brown hair that was colored brown at the roots, black at the ends, with red highlights and green or hazel eyes. She was last known to be wearing a black shirt with the word Rebel and silver lettering on the front and blue jeans. Dana has a tattoo of a teddy bear with wings and the name Dylan on her upper left arm. She's blind in her left eye, has a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. Her ears are pierced one time each. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-827-7823 or 660-826-8100, or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178, or their other number, 866-362-6422, or you can call Private Investigator Leslie at 910-427-0070 and see what we can do to get Dana located and back to where she needs to be. And Rodney Cox just joined us. How you doing, Rodney?
Nice.
And here's Jeremiah Demetrius Moneta. And there he is. Missing from Ponca City, Oklahoma since January 17, 2025. Was 22 when he went missing. Now 23. Now he's been missing just over a year now. He's 5'9", 150 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. His bank account's not been touched, and his apartment showed no signs of disturbance. His cell phone was found in someone else's possession, and his asthma inhaler that he never leaves behind, according to family, was found on a stranger's porch. And when he went missing, he was 22. He's now 23. 5'9", weighs 150 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Has facial hair and a Playboy bunny tattoo on his shoulder blade. He was last seen wearing a Kansas City Chiefs hoodie, jeans, and work boots. I'm assuming that's the Chiefs hoodie on the far right-hand side there. If you have any information regarding Jeremiah's disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, call the Ponca City, Oklahoma Police Department anonymously or at 580-767-3000. 0370 or call the anonymous tip line at 580-762-5100, or you can text Ponca City Police Department plus your message to crimes 274637 from your cell phone, or you can email your information to crimestoppers@poncacityoK.gov and see if we can do to get Jeremiah located and back to where he needs to be. Oh, stifling a sneeze. Oh. All right. And I believe this is the last one for this week. This is Andrew Nicholas France, missing from Sedalia, Missouri since April 20th, 2023. 31 when he went missing. Now be 33. Actually, I need to double check that and see if that's accurate. 5'11", 175 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes. That day he left the Sedalia, Missouri residence he had been staying, driving a white 2019 Ford Escape with a Florida license plate number AV13NF. Later in the day at 4:26 p.m., he got a traffic citation from the police in Kansas City, Missouri. He's never been heard from again. On April 24th, 2023, his vehicle was found in the Taco Bell parking lot in Excelsior Springs, Missouri, and towed, but there was no sign of him at the scene. His wallet and 2 important hoodies were missing from his vehicle. Since his disappearance, there's been no activity on his food stamp card or social media accounts. He has a tattoo on his neck of a mountain scene and a bighorn sheep in black and gray ink, and you can see it up there in the pictures there. And he has a tattoo of an angel in black ink on his left shoulder, tattoos of writing on both forearms, and tattoos on his hands. Fortunately, I don't have the arms or anything, but you can see the one on his neck real good. He's last known to be wearing a blue t-shirt with an American flag, blue jeans, dark gray Skechers shoes, and a baseball cap. If you have any information regarding Andrew's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Excelsior Springs, Missouri Police Department. Oh, I guess I do have some of the shots down there at the bottom. Or you know of his whereabouts, please. Okay, Excelsior Springs. Gosh, let me start that all over. If you have any information regarding Andrew's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Excelsior Springs, Missouri Police Department at 816-630-2000 or Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or 866-362-6422. And so we can do to get Andrew located and back to where he needs to be. I do have some of those tattoos on there.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get him located though. It's coming up on 3 years in April, so just a few months. How old is Jeremiah? He was 22 when he went missing. He would now be 23. Of course, I need to make sure that's still accurate too. Now that we crossed into a new year, because I don't know when his birthday is, but I'm sure I can find out. It's going to take some searching, but I'm sure I can find out. And I think that might have been the last one for this week. I think
that's it.
Yeah. You're welcome, Heather. Yep. It's been a while since we covered Andrews, so it's probably good to get him back on there again. I don't know of anything else involved in this case as far as disappearance, except for his truck was found abandoned at a Taco Bell and it was towed, and his stuff was missing from the truck, 2 important hoodies and his driver's license and stuff. So kind of scary there. I'm not sure. Ellen, you're welcome for sharing Dana and Andrew's flyers. I almost forgot Andrew's tonight, and then I remembered, oh yeah, I got to get Andrew. And I just want to say thank you all for sticking with us tonight and going over these cases, and hopefully we can get somebody located or one of these unsolved homicides solved. They're all long overdue to be solved. Whether they happened a year ago or 30 or 40 years ago, they still need solved. And I'm always convinced that somebody somewhere knows something. It's just a matter of doing the right thing and speaking up and saying, here's what I know. Let's see. That would be, Will Sabrina Larson's asking about the guy with the red shoes in Topeka, and I believe that was Zubler. And I have not heard anything new on him. I'm going to have to reach out to his family and see what I can find out on that one, because I don't know. I haven't heard anything in quite some time. They were actually messaging me pretty regularly to add photos, change wording, that kind of thing, and I haven't heard anything for a while. But I know he's still listed on KBI as missing, so take that to mean he's still missing. So hopefully we can help get him found. I'll get him on the show next week, and we'll talk some more about him next week. But again, thank you everybody for being with us tonight and going over these cases, and thank you, Rodney. Great show, guys, as always. Thank you. I just want to say, Heavenly Father, thank you for being with us tonight as we go through these cases, and just really encourage anybody that has any information on any of them to get it called in and do the best that we can to help get these things solved. And sorry about the cat. Just need people to do the right thing and share what they know. Until we see each other next week, everybody stay safe, stay healthy. God bless. Have a good night, and amen.
Amen.